who is it I'm speaking with?
My name is Jonathan Fontana. They call me Jonfon.
Jonathan Fontana.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And where are you from originally?
Tampa.
Tampa. Originally from Tampa.
Yeah. I lived in West Virginia from 13 to 17. I lived in Houston when I was 17 for 3 months, and then I lived back in Florida from 17 to 29, 30. Then I lived in Houston from 30 to 34. And I moved to Lakeland for 6 months while I got back on my feet, and then moved to Tampa, and that wasn't working. And then I wanted to be in the middle, so I found a place in Plant City that was renting a room. My dad lived in Lakeland. I was flying out of Tampa and working in Tampa, so I got in the middle. And when I found Plant City, I said, this is a yard sale. Anything that you want to do right now is available. Nobody's doing it. I just left Houston. No matter what you were doing in Houston, there were 3 people across the street doing the exact same thing. So when I came here, I said, I want to do comedy. No one's doing comedy. I want to make shirts. No one's doing shirts. I want to make music. No one here is doing anything. I was like, what a yard sale.
That's right.
And so then I went out.
It's Wild West.
With my stuff, and I just kept it on my personal page. And then I went out and promoted everything that Plant City was doing. And boom, 4,000, 5,000 followers. And they're like, how'd you do it? And I was like, I just talk about y'all. This world's so big and you're a part of it. And then get out of your own head and talk about the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they go, when the lockdowns came, I realized I'd never been valuable. I'd never been essential a day in my life when the lockdowns came. And so I got online, and all the businesses were closed. And people were thinking, how do I stay relevant during this time? So I made a flyer and I put it on social media. I said, for $200, I'm going to come into your business downtown and go live on Facebook. And I will guarantee you 2,000 views in 2 days for $200. 5 people immediately signed up, cut me a check for $200. I kept my word. They would get thousands of views within 24 hours. And I made $1,000 and paid my rent for August.
Wow.
In lockdown. Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
It was pretty cool.
I've never been paid for
No,
anything.
No, and not because I always did this anyway for free, but I needed the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed it. And then for 3 months, after that, I was in the gym working out, and I'm talking to an entrepreneur that came in and he just bought a big fish farm in Plant City.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Dude, there's only one fish farm in Plant City.
I know.
My wife lived next door to. I used to live in that house.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name.
Webb Road. You know where Webb Road is?
I'll probably work down
There's
there.
it used to be J.R. Richards, the nudie bar right on the corner of 92 and County Line Road.
Yeah.
You know that nudie bar right there?
I've seen it.
It's right behind there's the fish farm right there.
Now, what's it like in there?
Couldn't tell you. I wish I could, but no. I can tell you what it was when it was JR's. I've never been in there. When it was JR's bar, it was just a dive. You know, it was cool. I only been there once.
Yeah.
I met my wife. I heard that they were closed.
That's funny you're going to bring that up in the same sentence.
Yeah. And I did. I met my wife in Ybor City in a bar.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah.
You know Ybor City?
Yeah.
And I went in those bars. I was with a friend, and she was with a friend, and I said, he started hitting on her friend. And they walked out to the freaking car right then and there. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I left me and my wife-to-be, said they're chit-chatting, and said, you want to go out to dinner? Dude, that was 30 years ago.
Wow.
Ybor City, 7th Avenue, old place called Harpo's.
And you were hanging out with J.B. Plant at the time. Henry B. Plant. So I worked during the lockdowns and talking to the guy at the gym. He goes, yeah, I'm actually looking for a guy that might handle a weed eater and get down in this mud and clean up these fish farms because winter's coming, we got to cover them all up. I said, let me come and do it. He goes, no. I'm looking for a Carlos, a Jesus.
I got it. I had to say it.
No, yeah,
I had to say it.
No. He's looking for a migrant worker. This is right up their alley, and I don't do yard work. I'd like to break out for whatever reason. I said, sir, let me come and do this for you. You know, it's only a couple of months worth of work. I said, I got 30 ponds. I said, I'll clear them all up. I'll be your best weed eater.
Sure.
Please. And he's like, whatever you want to do it. I went out there for 3 months and I cleaned up this farm and lost so much weight. I was about 114 pounds coming out during the summer because you had to completely cover yourself from head to toe, including gloves.
Mosquitoes.
No, and a mask. You had to wear. I wore a paintball mask because of the debris from the weed
Yeah.
eater. It's just going everywhere. And so for about 90 days, I put a sweatsuit on and got it for. You only do it for 4 or 5 hours before you want to pass out, and shrunk. It just shrunk up, and I don't know where I was going with
I
that.
could use 40 pounds lost, 50 pounds lost. I could use that. And
Yeah.
I was,
I'm 15 pounds up from then.
dude, I
Could you imagine?
went in the Army 161. I came out of the Army 171. I gained 10 pounds
Huh. In pride?
25 years ago. Huh?
In pride? You gained 10 pounds in pride. That's amazing. Good. For the country. Yeah. I always like how we've never been the bad guy. How lucky. How lucky.
Dude, that's some of the stuff I can't say.
That's amazing. I love how we've never been the bad
That's
guy.
that's some of the stuff I can't say. I can't put on.
It's an amazing place, this place. It's best to keep my mouth shut.
I can say one. Yeah, that's right.
It's a lot of fun getting in a room like this and talking and how we feel and letting them decide if they want to listen, because they can turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's their fault if they don't like what we said, because nobody made them listen.
Yeah.
Huh? Why do you listen to people like this?
Are you one of the 4?
We're speaking against
5
your
people that
cultural
actually
norms.
saw this?
Yeah. This will be your, within 24 hours of you uploading, this will be your most watched podcast. No, unless I don't know of some kind of rogue podcast that you've released and it's got 1,600 views right now, because this one will jump up there. And I don't say that out of pride.
Your video or my video?
This one.
No, your video.
Yours. You're putting this out.
Dude.
And that's why I was excited that you asked me, because I before you asked me, I already, Byron, LJ told me about you. And then I went and looked you up, and then like a week later, you asked me to come on, and I knew what I was going to get to do for this thing, and what you were going to do for me, and that's what you're really trying to do. You're trying to do something for me, and I appreciate that, and you are. But I knew what this was going to do for you.
Well, thank you,
And I
man.
said,
Thank
he
you.
deserves it. This is
I said to myself, I want to put this hat out, and I don't care what you're doing. I want you to have pride for what you're doing and do it under my brand. So I said, LJ, I'm going to get him a hat that says, I am comedy, see if he likes that. Gave it to him. He did that picture, and then you came along and said, dude, I want one. I was like, holy, somebody wants one.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't give it to you quick enough.
Yeah. And real quick, LJ has been doing comedy for about 3 years. I saw him when he started, and I was hosting shows in Plant City when he started doing comedy. And he has a goal. He knows where he wants to go with it. And he has created the vehicle to accomplish that. He says, Lakeland comedy, same thing you're doing.
That's
You know what I mean? And now he's creating a stage for himself in order to accomplish the goal that he set for himself. But this stage also provides an opportunity for me and everyone else. He's doing it in comedy. You're doing it as a community in Lakeland and in a roundabout
I
way.
want to be a part of it. Heck yeah.
And I love this.
I said, hey, I said, LJ, I said, man, I don't know if it'll help. May help, may not. But throw my logo on there.
Yeah.
I've got a few thousand followers on TikTok, on Instagram, and I've got a website.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm trying to get my brand out there just like everybody else,
Right.
trying to pull teeth. And dude, he took me up on it. He's
Yeah.
got my logo, and I'm hoping it helped. I showed up a couple times. Still gonna show up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's fantastic, dude. I'm for the little guy. I'm for the little guy.
Oh yeah, I love the little guy. I like to sit down there and wiggle.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little guy. Yeah.
No pun intended.
No, right.
I'm kidding. My dad.
I'm afraid puberty's not going to hit. I'm giving up on it.
My dad. People used to call the house. My dad. He's 5'5", and I'm 5'11", and his name is Don Burns, and my name is Don Burns. His is Donald Steve, and I'm Donald Patrick. And back in the day, we got the telephones were connected to the wall. And somebody would call and say, "Hey, is this Don?" I said, "Can I talk to Big Don?" I said, "This is Big Don." He goes, No, your dad. Oh, my dad.
That's
Okay.
funny.
But he, I teased him. I've always teased my dad. Oh,
I'm not even
memories.
sure any of this is real.
Yeah.
Because
I can
How
I
can
can
you-
tell you something's real. You feel that, right?
How are you by choice just creating all of this? For all
I'm
all
not.
you know, Cohatch was invented so you can have these conversations.
You
I
know,
don't get how it just works out if you decide.
I know what I'm saying to you right now.
Uh huh.
I'm conscious and aware of what I'm saying to you. I think I know how you're receiving it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're receiving what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and that's what I go around thinking. I'm like, if I said that guy is a fantastic guy and he's funny, did he hear what I said, or did
Yeah.
he hear what God put in?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the biggest one. When you go to sleep, and you go, where do you go?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Where is that going?
I'll give you mine.
Hey, maybe that's the real place.
That's right. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's weird.
Got my mom's right there.
Yeah.
My father-in-law that just passed a couple months ago is right there.
God bless.
Dude, they're right on the other
God
side.
bless it.
I kid you not, this is what I believe. They're right on the other side.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll be there. I'll see my mom. I'm trying to make my mom proud still to this day.
Yeah.
She's right there. It's just on the other side. You
Yeah.
just get the privilege of coming here.
And there's no division. Y'all are still together.
We're all one, dude.
Isn't that something?
We're all one.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm expressing myself as John Fon. You're
That's
expressing
cool.
yourself as
Mr.
Don
Burns.
Burns.
I like Burns.
Don Burns. Mr.
So,
Burns.
are you getting residuals from The Simpsons? I don't know how. Does that work?
Dude, I'll tell you what, if I even just got that 0.001%, it'd be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do collect the little Mr. Burns things at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son he went through that Simpsons phase and he collected Simpson crap,
Okay.
and I always collected Mr. Burns crap.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
That's a funny one. And
We're
my
gonna-
great grandpa, George Burns, you remember him?
George Burns.
Yeah,
That's the,
great-grandpa.
That's the guy who's supposed to be collecting the residuals.
Yeah.
George Burns. Oh, isn't he an actor as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There's more than one George Burns.
Is there?
Was he in Grumpy Old Men?
No.
Who is that guy?
He was in
I'm talking about the father in the
The
first one that
guy.
died. He dies in Grumpy Old Men, the old man, the father.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think that's right. Anyway, go ahead, yeah.
The movie,
Grumpy Old Men.
What's that
Walter
one
Matthau,
got?
Jack Lemmon.
yeah.
There's one called Oh God or something.
Oh
like
God,
that.
that's the one I'm trying to think of.
So
Yeah, that's the one.
yeah, and we weren't allowed. We never watched that movie, and I remember when that came out, and it was very blasphemous to us because
Wow.
because of the word was, for one, it was using God's name in vain, and he's on the front with a big cigar. And I'd never seen the movie, but I remember being 12 and seeing the picture going, that's the devil. Not George, but like
Yeah.
the whole thing as a whole. Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom and dad, Saturday Night Fever came on television for the first time, 74, 75, something like that. And my mom and dad said, Donnie, you got to go to bed. You can't watch this movie.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, the first Jaws was rated PG.
Yeah. And the very first scene of Jaws, everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
Dude, this has been a pleasure.
Well,
What a pleasure.
we're going to be in each other's circle.
That for now on, dude.
Yeah.
And every joke I give, we don't take personal, right? It's fun.
No, I don't want to hurt
You find
anybody's
people,
feeling.
find it too offensive too quick.
Yeah.
What do you do about that? Just apologize?
Yeah. I'm ready to apologize, and I need to do it whether it's justified or not. An apology has nothing to do with the justification in my world. Okay? But I apologize. Just be ready once a quarter to reach out and apologize to somebody.
Sure, of course.
Because they're upset.
Yeah.
And you didn't mean to do it.
And you're not going to get away from
No.
it. It's going to happen no matter what.
Get used to apologizing. And it's not like you killed somebody, but somebody, you took their parking spot, and you should know they parked there.
Yeah. They're just as valuable as you are.
I was telling somebody, they just ran out of coffee. They're not mad at you. You upset them, but they're not really mad
When they
at
cut you off, they don't know who you are. Ain't nothing like promoting yourself.
None of this has anything to do with me. This is the hat that I'm known by in town, and this is my new favorite hat. So first off, thank you for the hat.
Well, I like to hear
And when I
that.
heard I was getting this hat, and I says, oh man, I'm doing something. I've got my hat, and I love this logo that you've created.
Thank
And
you.
you're switching it up. I am comedy. I am Lakeland. I am love. I think I saw, and then you have one, I Am Cranky, I think I saw.
I got it all. Anything you can imagine, dude, I'm trying to come up with.
Yeah. I Am Tired.
I'm tired. I'm lazy.
I'm aggravated.
That's right. I'm horny, dude. I got it all.
Okay. Yeah.
But it personalizes you.
Yeah.
So the idea is to get people to see it and say, "Oh, I got to get me one of those."
Yeah.
You know.
Well, when LJ told me about you, and then I went to your page, and I seen what you were doing, and I got your vibe is easy to pick up on. I feel like you just leave your vibe out here, and you're not trying to cover anything up.
That's right.
I tell people, if I knew how to be fake, trust me, I'd be a lot cooler.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what I did in Plant City 6 years ago.
It is. Okay.
And when I moved into Plant City, I didn't know. I moved from Houston, and I didn't know anybody. But I said, let me promote what the city's doing and go live with my phone. Where there's a car show, there's a parade, there's the food truck rally, whatever's going on, just go down there live and always just make it about whatever's going on. And people to today go, you moved in and set your mark in town, become one of the most popular guys in town fast. How'd you do it? And I said, I just talked about the city. I just went out into the city and I said, oh, look, there's a crowd over there. And then I go up with a good attitude. Hey guys, I'm in downtown Plant City. We've got the food truck rally. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. You can come down. It's dog friendly. And I'm doing this, and now the chamber goes, oh, wow, this is a great little video. Let me share it on my page. And then people that follow the chamber, which was everybody, starts, who's this guy, JonFon? And then I did that consistently for about 3 or 4 years. And then I saw you. I said, this is the guy who's doing it too.
Dude, that's the phase I'm in right now. I haven't done that yet, but I'm considering going to the shops, going to the food trucks, exactly what's going to do in my mind exactly right now.
Yeah. And
You said you did it in Houston or Plant City?
Plant City. I did it in Houston too. In entertainment, I have a gift for you for this.
Well, thank you.
So this is Grade A Media's second movie. This is from 2014. Derek Williams. He was 26 when he directed and wrote this movie.
26.
26. No formal education for making movies. Crushing it. He got a proclamation by the city of Houston. Key to the city from the city of Houston. Young man from Chicago. And this is me over here. It's called I Crushed the Movie.
Fantastic.
I think it took 8 months or something to shoot that film because we did it on the weekends on a low budget. And when they brought me onto this movie, I promoted this film, the behind the scenes, the 8 months of creating this movie, and never made it about myself. And I tagged as many people as I could and created a huge following in Houston right away because I never was talking about myself. I went into what the community was doing or what a huge team of people was doing, promoted them, tagged them, and they all just bundled into, at it. And then in Houston, this is my first mixtape. I did a mixtape. There's 5 rap songs on there that I wrote. And I could have been a accomplished rapper.
Yeah?
And it was a hobby of mine, just like acting. Now, as excited as we were 7 years ago about these projects, we're still doing the same thing. He's still doing movies. I'm still in entertainment. And we listen and look and watch these. And we were so embarrassed of how.
But it's fun. It was fun.
It was the best thing we'd done up to the time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And we shared this with everybody. And this is fantastic. 7 years go by, we're still crushing it. We look and we go, we didn't know this would represent our first projects. And they look like our first projects years later. And so those are for you.
Thank you.
And they're autographed. Both are autographed.
And I kid you not. I have got some rap in me, some music in me that I'm trying to get out. I kid you not. I have got it. I don't have the cojones to do it. I want to do it by myself. I want to collaborate with people. And it's a lot like Ice Ice Babe. It's a lot like I'm Bad.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of, it's purely about love to me.
Your music?
Yeah.
Your lyrics,
it's about love and lyrics and whoever hears it, if they're open-minded, they'll get the message.
Yeah.
So that's the exact same thing. And there's, you got to go off try and make it funny and
Yeah.
spoofs and stuff like that. But that's exactly what I'm considering is a song. I got a guy here in Lakeland, D-Ron. I don't know if you heard of D-Ron. He's a rapper. He's staying over here. Right now he's into the Christian music and stuff. And he's going like that. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's trying to grow, but he's a good guy. He's like, I'll do the music for you. I'll do the music. You come up with the, because I like the lyrics. I'm working with the lyrics only.
I'm a lyricist.
I'm not a musician and all that. But, and movie, I've never even thought about a movie. That's never even entered my mind.
Yeah.
Movie, come on.
And a lot of people will
Videos,
put
yeah,
shorts and stuff. And the ideas, they're abundant. And as I get older, it's like, okay, cool, you have ideas, but like, what are you really going to execute on?
That's exactly right. Dude.
And then, did you accomplish this idea that you've been executing? Are you jumping? Are you abandoning one for the other and moving and really never finishing anything and moving?
That's
And
right.
sometimes it's that path that takes you to where you're supposed to be. And so always
That's where I'm at now.
So I always say, well, you got a day, and we only get the day, and just move forward the way you see fit, and things that happen organically.
Dude, you're right. You're so right. I've had a number of entrepreneurial ideas. I had menusofamerica.com where I used to be a maintenance man in a restaurant, and I would go into the restaurant and I'd work on their dishwasher, get their dishwasher working, or their washing machine, or their dryer.
Yeah.
And I'd say, hey man, you got your menu on the internet? This was back in early 2000. They're like, no. I was like, man, you give me your menu, I'll scan it, it was menusofamerica.com, and you could go to the state, the city, and see all the menus.
Yeah.
Then I had menus of the world.
No
And
kidding.
freaking Google comes in and blew that out of the water, so I gave up on that one. Went to something else. I've actually met a lot of celebrities. I used to do sculptures. You put your hand into a mold for 10 seconds, and it turns into a rubber. You pull your hand out, we pour stone into it, and it turns into a sculpture with your fingerprints and everything.
Yeah.
And I worked for a guy who did a bunch of celebrities, and I was his handyman. So I got to go out to Hollywood and do a bunch of people. And I got my own franchise after I started working. I had my own franchise, tried that for a while. My wife said, okay, it's time to settle down, let's have some kids. So I gave that up. So the path that's led me to I Am Lakeland has been trial and error, just like you're explaining.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
It's neat. And like,
And
wonderful.
here you are now.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And this may be our last days of being unknown.
Yeah,
Because I think it's coming. One day it's going to come.
I believe I'm at a threshold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe I'm at a threshold. I tell you what, this the padding behind you with the shadowing and
Yeah, everybody tells me about
it's
that.
really trippy.
Everybody tells me
Yeah,
that. Everybody.
I was like, am I looking at him? I
Yeah.
can't tell.
Yeah, everybody tells me that when we're doing this. And I've had this conversation with LJ.
Yeah.
Okay. I have followed comedy my whole life.
Okay.
I'm a comedy fan,
Okay.
and I come up with comedy. I usually only make myself laugh. I
Yeah.
don't ring it out. But I love intelligent, witty, quick-witted comedy.
Yeah.
And I study people.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm studying you.
Yeah.
You're good.
I
You're
appreciate
good.
you saying
You're
that.
good, dude.
And
And
I
it's-
like to be obnoxious.
dude.
Yeah. It's fun to be ignorant.
It is.
Even
People think
sometimes-
I'm an idiot.
especially on stage where they're expecting you to be silly and they don't know who I am. So off stage, they're like, oh, this guy, he's a funny guy, but he's not real bright. But I'm really, really smart. That's really obnoxious for me to say.
Believe me, I'm the same way, bro.
I hung out with enough people to know that I'm not the smartest, but I like when Joe Rogan says, I know I'm not very smart. And you think you're smart, but I know, I don't know how he said it, but he made a good point. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, I like to claim that I'm the village idiot.
Yeah.
I like to claim that I'm the village because I'm aware of how much I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Most people going around saying,
Yes.
oh, I know this, I know that. And they're so limited by what they know that you have to open your mind and say, okay, I do know a lot, great, but what don't you know?
Yeah.
And you realize that you don't know a 0.01% 0.001% of what's in the world.
Yes.
You have to open your mind to see what you don't know. So when I claim that I'm the village idiot, I'm fully aware that I don't know.
What you've done by saying that is leaving yourself open to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And you allow people to say, hey, listen, I'm the village idiot, so you're allowed to tell me things or give me advice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And you get those looks from those people who think they know everything, like, why would you ever claim that?
And then it dawns on you one day that some of this stuff that you know isn't correct. You've been convinced.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, I have to unknow some things.
Unlearn.
And then you readapt new principles. And then for me, I go, but be careful, because remember how you knew something that you thought was correct, but you've learned and done better, and you realized you were convinced for a long time about some kind of truth that you've changed your mind now. Now you have a new truth, but be careful, because you were wrong before. And so don't go preaching to people about your big ideas and how they need to live,
right.
but do the best you can, and you can be convinced that you're correct.
One of the things that is a guide for me is I don't give out advice unless it's asked.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I know. It's like, if you ask me, I'll give you the wisdom I have. But if someone's coming up to you and telling you, you need to do this and you need to do that, they don't know the first thing about you.
Yeah. And I feel bad. I love my church. I've been going back to church for about 3 years. I was raised, we can get into that for a second, I was raised Apostolic. I started preaching when I was 13 years old. I preached into my 20s, and then was shunned at the age of like 26. Apostolic is like Amish with electricity.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, we had a car and air conditioning and lights, but I didn't understand why we had electricity if we're not allowed to watch the television. Electricity, the whole point was to watch TV, and we just sat in the house with the lights on, stared at each other for my whole life. I knew the same 40 people, and we were convinced, I was convinced that we were correct. And a little radical, this religious Christian sect. We didn't play with snakes. That's the first thing people think, oh, we had snakes. And no, we didn't play with snakes. But we were reclused. And the Lord was coming back either tonight or in the morning before breakfast. And that was...
You ever think about jumping on that spaceship and cutting your...
No, I've never. You've
Okay.
totally on the spaceship
There's
with the Jim Jones.
Yeah. No, not Jim
Haley's
Jones.
Comet.
Yeah, that Haley Comet.
Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what opened your eyes, if you don't mind me asking? Or what happened to change your mind?
Well, I got shunned. I rented from the church. I was youth pastor at the church. The pastor's son, who was a single father with children, lived in a trailer down the road. The floor fell out of this trailer. The day before I was shunned, I was driving around the corner, and you can look at the trailer from the road and see his couch under the trailer. It had fell out.
Did it fall through? Okay.
I left for work, came back home, and all of my stuff was packed on the back of a flatbed trailer, and the pastor's son and children was living in my home. At first, I thought I was getting robbed, and I called the sheriff. And once I learned what was going on, the sheriff goes, say the words, and we're going to come down and have your pastor arrested. And I thought about it that quick. And I said, no. I packed up my stuff. I had a cousin who was a drug dealer, a real loser in life. I said, oh, come and stay with me. You can stay on the couch. I got all my trailer, and they just put stuff in sacks and bags and stuff, and I moved all this stuff. And I stayed out organizing things into boxes so I had to get a storage unit, and I had to reorganize things out of these bags and put it in. And it was wee hours in the morning. I'm out in the yard, and I got tired, and I went home. I went inside and went to sleep. When I came back outside, the pastor had found out where I went, put all my stuff out in the yard, and took the trailer. I gave 26 years of my life to this place, and I was convinced that we were correct. I knew that I was going down. I either had to go back to an apostolic church or go to hell. And given the environment now that I had been in with my cousin who was a drug dealer, I took the wrong path, and it was easy to do. And I waited to go to hell for 4 years. And I partied and I did drugs and I was going any